What's up everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. My name is Whack4863, but you can call me Whack. In today's video, I want to go over the top 5 Thralls for 2022. Now these are the best Thralls in the exiled lands in my opinion. Your opinion may vary, however let me tell you how I came up to this conclusion. First of all, I started in the dev kit and I pulled some numbers that aren't available in game. The numbers that I pulled were for the growth to strength and the growth to health. What I did was I took a data table from the dev kit and then I had a good friend of mine, Stormy, handle sorting all of that out so that I could find the highest numbers in both of those tables. I then took that and looked at the Thralls in game to figure out which ones were going to have the best gains both in strength and health with the leveling system. I also took into account the damage modifiers that are hidden. You can get this in game if you're on PC and you have access to the admin panel. All you need to do is open the console command line and type GetDamageModifierMelee or GetDamageModifierRanged, and I put both of those commands in the description of this video. Lastly, I took into account the amount of hit points that they started with because I feel like having that good foundation for hit points right up front is very important. Now without further ado, let's jump into my top 5 Thralls for 2022. Number 5 on my list is the Relic Hunter Treasure Seeker. Now the Relic Hunter Treasure Seeker is easily found in the Wine Cellar dungeon. They are a guaranteed spawn down here. Now you definitely want to go after the fighters, however, even if your fighter Thrall turns out to be an archer when it gets its perks, you're still going to be happy with the Relic Hunter Treasure Seeker, and we'll get to that here in a moment. The Relic Hunter Treasure Seeker comes out of the box with a whopping 5,412 total hit points. It has 0 in strength, 15 in agility, 10 in vitality, 20 in accuracy, and 0 in survivor. Its melee damage modifier is one of the highest at 2.21, and its range damage modifier is also one of the highest at 2.2. Now its growth for strength, when it gains a level in the strength attribute, it's going to gain just under 0.5% of increased strength. That comes in at 0.004, so for every time you level you get about 0.5%. Their growth in health is 0.312, so just over 3%. Now, there's an easier way to figure out whether your Thrall is going to gain a lot of hit points per point in vitality, and essentially what you want to do is look at the bonus to vitality and then divide that by the number of points they have in vitality. That's going to tell you how many points they gain additionally in vitality. So for the Relic Hunter Treasure Seeker, they gain 128.6 points in vitality. Now this one is on my list because of the starting health and the high damage modifier. This is a good Thrall and it's easy to come by this Thrall. Now I do want to show you that you could take a Thrall out of this dungeon. Many people experience a bug where the Thrall disappears when they take it out of the dungeon. I just want to show you how to verify that you have a Thrall on the rope and make sure that you don't lose the Thrall because you don't know what you're looking at. So as you can see, the Thrall came towards me and then disappeared. It looks like there's nothing attached to my rope. However, if I open my inventory and I select my bindings, you can see the durability is still going down. This means that something is attached to your rope and you should go and interact with a Wheel of Pain and put that Thrall in the Wheel of Pain. This same bug does also occur when you are teleporting via the obelisks in the exiled lands, so please don't put your rope away. You do still have the Thrall on the rope. The next Thrall on our list is Leon, and you can find him at Leon's Watch. He is a guaranteed spawn here on the map. You can see there's Leon's Watch. So come up here and you should find him 100% of the time in this location. Now there is another Thrall that shares the same stats as Leon. That would be Janos. They both have the exact same makeup. However, Leon is a guaranteed spawn, so he's easier to come by. So let's jump into Leon's numbers. He comes out of the box with 3,727 hit points. He has 30 in strength, 5 in agility, 10 in vitality, 0 in accuracy, and 0 in survival. His damage modifier is one of the lowest in this list, but it is 1.93375 for melee, and his range modifier is 1.925. So they still are within range of the other damage modifiers, and he's a guaranteed spawn, easy to come by. He also comes out of the box with quite a bit of extra strength since he has 30 additional points in that attribute. His growth in strength is 0.005, so right at 0.5%. And his growth in health is 0.042. So he is going to gain more health and more strength than the Relic Hunter Treasure Seeker, but he does have the lower damage modifier. The other nice thing about Leon is that he is a medium leveling Thrall, so you are going to be able to level him up faster than you would a Relic Hunter Treasure Seeker. But he does not gain as much health per point in vitality as the Relic Hunter Treasure Seeker. He only gains 110.2 hit points per point in vitality. In the number 3 spot is Dalencia Snowhunter, and the reason why Dalencia is here is she starts with high health and she has high damage. So this is where you can find her on the map. She is in the Mounds of the Dead. There are multiple spawn points for her in the Mounds of the Dead, but I do have a lot of luck in this specific spot, and that is inside this dome right here. Now, the downside of Dalencia Snowhunter is that she is not a guaranteed spawn, so you may have some trouble finding her. However, she does have a starting health of 5,547. Her strength is 15, agility is 0, vitality is 30, accuracy is 0, and survival is 0. She shares the high damage modifier with the Relic Hunter Treasure Seeker with a melee damage modifier of 2.21. Her ranged damage modifier is 2.2, so if she becomes a fighter or an archer through her perks, she can do well with both of those things. Her growth in strength is just under 0.5% at 0.004, and her growth in health is 0.024. Now, she does have one of the lowest growth chances in health, but that is offset by the high hit points that she comes out of the box with. However, leveling the Relic Hunter Treasure Seeker for health would be better than leveling a Dalencia for health, because her hit points per point in vitality are only going to be an additional 77.4. She is also a slow leveler just like the Relic Hunter Treasure Seeker, so it is going to take you more time to get her to level 20. Without leaving the Mounds of the Dead, our number 2 spot is the Cimmerian Berserker. Now, the Cimmerian Berserker is a guaranteed spawn, and he roams the water below the Mounds of the Dead. Now, you can get a Cimmerian Berserker in both male and female, so that is a plus in my book. But let's talk about the numbers and why it's on the list in the top 5 and why it's in my number 2 spot. This particular NPC has the highest damage modifier in game. So let's dive into some numbers. It comes out of the box with 4,437 total hit point. It has 15 in strength, 0 in agility, 30 in vitality, 0 in accuracy, and 0 in survival. Its melee damage modifier is the highest in game at 2.24. And its range damage modifier is 2.21. Its growth in strength is 0.04, so just under 0.5%, and its growth in health is 0.24, so about 2.5%. It does gain the lowest amount of additional hit points per point in vitality, coming in at 61.9 hit points per point in vitality. Again, this hits my list because it has the highest damage, and there isn't a whole lot in the Exiled Lands if you are playing PvE that you can't kill with a Cimmerian Berserker, even with the lower health pool. Now, the number 1 spot on our list is Beastmaster Taimos. Beastmaster Taimos is a beast because he's got some odd things going on. So let's dive into what makes Beastmaster Taimos such a beast. Now, first of all, he is a fast leveler, so you're going to be able to level him up faster than any of the other thralls that I've covered in this list so far, meaning that you can churn these guys out a ton if you are looking to get certain perks or if you need an army. He has a decent damage modifier. It's middle of the road of the thralls that I've showed you today. And he has the highest HP growth out of everybody that I've shown you, so let's dive into his numbers. Now, his health right off the bat isn't that impressive at 3,276. His strength is 1, his agility is 2, his vitality is 3, his accuracy is 30, and his survival is 15. He has a melee damage modifier of 2.08 and a range damage modifier of 2.1. His growth chance for strength is almost 1 full percent, so it's 0.00825, so just under 1% growth to his strength. His growth for health is 0.09, which is also just under 1%. Now, the big thing with him and what grows the largest is actually his hit point pool, because he actually gains 232 hit points for each point in vitality, making him one of the best fighter thralls to go after if you are looking for something that's just going to take an absolute ton of damage. So there you go, guys. That is my top 5 for fighters in Conan Exiles in the Exiled Lands. Now, many of you may be wondering about the Volcano Thralls. I did put them up against all of these thralls. Unfortunately, it was that Delencia was about the exact same mock-up as those Volcano Thralls, so she edged them out with the growth in strength and health. However, they would be right in that section should you want to go after another slow leveling thrall, or you just happen upon a Volcano Thrall that you want to take home. Now, I want to know in the comment section below which thrall in Conan Exiles happens to be your favorite. I'd like to thank all my YouTube members for your continued support. Y'all are absolute legends. If you'd like to become a legend, there's a button that says join on this page. Click that for details. There's 2 videos on the screen. Click one of those to watch next, and I'll meet you over there.